Pacific Rim Uprising is the sequel to 2013's Pacific Rim, which was directed by Guillermo del Toro, which introduced us to some giant-ass monsters known as kaiju, and in man's last defense created giant-ass robots known as Jaegers. And what we got from that was an all-out destructive slugfest with some of the best special effects that you will ever see. Pacific Rim Uprising takes place 10 years after the events from the first movie, where John Boyega plays Jake Pentecost, son of Stacker Pentecost, played by Idris Elba from the first movie. And unlike his father, Jake is no war hero. Instead, he chose to be a pariah and a dealer on the black market selling stolen Jaeger parts to make a living. I thought that the story was explained well upon introduction, and it immediately caught my attention from beginning to end. Not one single character in the movie felt overpowered or came off as too over the top. Character interactions didn't feel like it came off a script, especially when Jake met Amara for the first time. Yeah, that one scene when they were both sitting in jail, it felt like it was off script for some reason, or they really played that well, or that could really just be me. There was comedy in the movie, and it wasn't forced comedy or unnecessary comedy. It came at the right time, and the actors played well off of it. Between Scott Eastwood and John Boyega, they really. It wasn't cheesy or anything. It was balanced well, and it felt very believable. Besides the pictures of Stacker Pentecost, only 3 actors from the first movie reprised their roles. Mako Mori, Dr. Newton Geezer, how you pronounce it, Newt, and Dr. Herman Geitlip. If you pay close attention, there was a mention of Riley Beckett, and that's why I like this movie, because nothing was ignored from the previous film, which a lot of sequels suffer from. I don't know what the original script was, but I was really satisfied with the plot of Pacific Rim Uprising. The movie did feel like it was too long, but not one time did I say to myself that, man, I'd be glad when this movie ends. And I really did get my money's worth. I really did. Same action as the first film, but one thing that people might be mad about this time is that the fight between the kaiju and the Jaegers, it takes place towards the end of the movie. And the first movie, it was just all throughout middle part ending, but this one we just get it at the end, and the plot of the movie, that's why it builds up that suspense. But before that, somewhere in the middle part of the movie, we get a Jaeger versus Jaeger fight scene, which was fucking awesome. I really loved that whole aspect. And the whole Road Jaeger, aka the name of the Road Jaeger was Obsidian Fury, it had me in suspense. I couldn't wait to find out who the pilot was, and when it was revealed, I was somehow let down, but then I understood as the movie went along what they were going for. Without spoiling anything, I enjoyed the final battle. It played well with the premise of the movie, and I didn't have to say anything like, now how the fuck did that character do that? But in the end, the heroes win, and the bad guys or bad aliens or bad kaiju lose. The way that the movie ends is set up for a sequel, and it reminded me of how Independence Day Resurgence ended, but the only thing different about this is that Pacific Rim Uprising is 10 times better than Independence Day Resurgence. But I wouldn't say that Pacific Rim Uprising is better than the first Pacific Rim, but it is a worthy sequel that's worth checking out. So if you're a fan of giant robots and giant monsters fighting each other while causing billions of dollars of destruction to a city, then Pacific Rim is the movie for you. And hell, we even get a cameo of a real fucking Gundam. How cool is that?